Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Tuesday night Money with Me live stream. For today, we're going to be working on October budget setup. I am going to go through my October budget and kind of give an update on where we're at for the year, since we mostly focus on doing an annual budget. And I just entered. Okay, sorry. All right, so an overview for today's session. I wanted to start with doing October money goals and just walk through the goals I set, hopefully give you guys some ideas or give you some time to think through what you want to accomplish for October. Do the October budgeting. I will share my screen and do item or line item by line item, what we're going to spend. And then we will do a 5-minute silent work session at the end. So that'll be a work session where you can work on whatever you have to work on, or if you're looking for a prompt, like I said, now is a great time to do October budget. So getting into October money goals. So what do you want to accomplish in the month of October? Really common ones might be a certain dollar amount of debt paid off for the month. It might be a reading goal, like to read a certain amount of personal finance books or articles to give you ideas on how to save money. It might be income-related goals, whether that's like side hustle or main hustle. So looking for new clients or working towards asking for a promotion, filling out job applications, that kind of thing. So the ones that I have keep our year-to-date spending under $33,333 and invest the rest. So our annual budget is $40,000. So 10 months worth makes up that $33,000. We are way under budget for the year because of coronavirus and not traveling. We've only spent $18,900 so far this year, which means we could spend $14,000. Hopefully my math's right. Yeah, that means we could spend $14,000 in October. We will not be spending that much, but so that's our first goal for October, just keep our spending under control. I do want to do 14 no spend days. I am going to do at least 7 of those as a no spend challenge, hopefully here on YouTube, but if not, then just on Instagram. For my side hustle, which is my main hustle, side and main right now, work on a digital product. I started working on it, but still need to finish up with that. And then just continue reading through my list of personal finance books, reading Millionaire Mind right now. And I can't remember what my next book is to get through. But anyway, so those are my 4 main goals for October. So what are you guys working on? Do you have financial goals in mind already for the month of October? With that, let me go ahead and share my screen so that we can look at October budgeting. So now I've mentioned on here before, I really like to start the budget with actuals. So this is our actual spending from January through June. I did not update this through today just because it's been very low. I actually added up in September. We only spent $868 total. Which is wild. I think that is a record low for us, $868 for September spending. We did get a $500 travel credit that we weren't expecting from we were going to do a trip to Europe in the spring, which got canceled. So got a surprise credit for that. So like I said, I just threw it in the bottom here just to do a quick calculation on how much we have left to spend for the year. So like I said, 40 is our annual budget. 18,929 is what we've spent so far. So yeah, like I said, this is outdated. But I like to use this because when you have the monthly average, that gives you an idea of how much you need to, it helps give you information for budgeting. So for example, like for our home, we've been averaging $141 per month. I'm just going to keep averaging that. So I pulled that in for my October budget number. Some of the prompts that you'll want to think through as we get started for October. These are kind of the prompts I go through every time just to make sure I'm remembering everything that we'll need for the month. So birthdays, anniversaries, and graduations. Want to make sure that you are accounting for any of those if you have them. It is Mr. Finance Rocks and I. It is our 9th wedding anniversary in October. If I did the math right, we got married in 2011, so I think that means 9 years. So we are planning to do a little trip in October, and so the numbers are in here for that. Oh, we've got some people. Hello, Rochelle. Hey, hey, Rox. Hey, chat. I'm out at the park, so Kate, still going to get some done on my phone. Nice. Welcome. Thank you, Rochelle. Mandaraj, hey, welcome. Going to try to catch up on my IRA deposit for this year. Great. Awesome. Oh, she said nice, Rochelle. Okay, so like I said, things to think through as you're setting your October budget. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations. Trips and travel, if you have anything planned. Holidays, it'll be Halloween. So if you have any expenses associated with Halloween, remember to grab those. Also on holidays, if you are doing sinking funds, now is a good time to start saving for Christmas. People tend to spend quite a bit on holiday spending in December, so making sure that you start setting aside money for that now would be good. Annual or semi-annual payments. We have several coming up. So I just put on here, we have $1,612 that'll be due in November for our car insurance. That's annual. Yeah, that's an annual payment. We just pay annually because it was a little cheaper. Home insurance is going to be due in November for $910. And then our property taxes, we owe half in November, so that'll be $1,342. I have no idea if that's kind of reasonable for property taxes or if that seems like a lot. Oh, hey, Christy, welcome. I'm actually catching you live. Welcome. I know you always do the replay, and I appreciate that. So nice to see you live. How are you doing? Have you guys done your October budget already? Or will you be going through it today? Rochelle says, as soon as I let Tanisha do our October budget takeover, Micah tells me he maxed out his post-tax Roth. October just got a whole lot more interesting. So I watched the full one on Tanisha's channel. I have not watched the full video yet on your guys' channel. If you're catching the replay, I will include the links to those videos in the description. They're both really good. So Tanisha set your guys' budget, so Rochelle and Micah on Rochelle Adamson YouTube channel. And then you guys set the one for Tanisha. I was laughing. It was really good. That was a cool project. And I'm interested to see how they go throughout the month too. So I don't know. I've never even thought about having like someone else give input on my budget. Really cool. Make sure you guys check that out. So annual or semi-annual payments, like I said, $1,342 for that. And then I like to ask myself anything I've been wanting to save up for, any other big purchases that you can't cash flow. So if you are able to cover any expenses with your income, then you don't really need to set up a sinking fund and start setting money aside for it, unless you choose to, if you prefer to do it that way. But this is just kind of a trigger for myself for, okay, anything else that I need to be saving money for. So going through the budget so far, and I just did this quick and dirty just before the live stream, so I might still tweak this. And I'm a big proponent of that. I don't think that you ever have to not adjust your budget if things change. I like to think of the budget as a tool, like a hammer. If your hammer breaks, You're not just gonna like throw it away and never ham again. You're going to either fix it or replace it with a new one. And you'd want to do the same thing with your budget. Either fix it, so, put in the change in income, put in the change in expenses, and try to get back to zero at the bottom. Or just start fresh with a new one. There have been times where I've done like the last 2 weeks of the month, just started with a totally fresh budget. So the income for that month or the income for those 2 weeks, and then spending estimates for those 2 weeks. So don't be afraid. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can always adjust it later. Let me check comments here. So Christy says, yeah, we have October done. Why not life? But working on a video right now because Joe's still at work. Okay, cool. All right. So our food spending has been so high this year. Like I said, we've been averaging about $575 for the two of us. Now, that does include all food, alcohol, restaurants. I don't separate any fun money. So this is literally everything that we've consumed. And I do extract like personal care into its own category. So this is straight up all of our food and alcohol, drinks, everything. So for our anniversary, so for this month, we're probably going to do an anniversary trip and possibly a night or two at an Airbnb for Halloween, just because like the doorbell ringing freaks out my dog. So I was like, oh, wait, we can try to get out of town a little bit. So I did increase food a little bit to $700 just because of that. I'm sure we'll go somewhere, not go somewhere because of COVID, but get food at a nice restaurant for that. Charitable giving, I kept at about the monthly average, $300. Health and medical, I put at $150. And I am so excited we're going to be doing HSAs again. So I had the high deductible plan and the HSA, which is the health savings account, when I was working, so up through March. And then I got on my husband's plan, and at the time we just kept his insurance package, which was just a regular health insurance plan, not high deductible. But his open enrollment just finished. And so starting in October, we're going to have 2 HSAs in our household. So very excited about that. That means we can contribute about $7,000 per year into HSA accounts. And I love HSA. I consider it to be a retirement account just because you can set money aside in it and it rolls over every year. And then you can take it out at any time for medical purposes. But if you save it all the way till retirement age, you can actually pull it out for anything. So I have never activated the debit cards on my HSA. I have no intention of spending that money. I am keeping receipts. So that way, if we ever did need to pull from it, we could pull it out and have the receipts and then not have to pay the tax or early penalty on it. Hopefully that makes sense. So anyway, I love HSA. I think it's a great way to save. The money that's in there grows tax free, and I do have the money in it invested too. So yeah, triple tax advantaged. I love it. Okay, that's probably enough. Let's see. So home 141. I did put a few notes in here just to remind myself next month we have, like I said, our home insurance will be due $910. For now, probably not doing much for our house. Transportation, $300. Like I said, if we do 2 trips, we'll need a little bit more in gas. Car insurance coming up in November. Personal care, I increased a little bit because we'll probably do a couples massage. That'll probably be our like big anniversary thing. Pets, we do typically board our dog when we go traveling, just because he can be kind of a bother. He's a very loud barker, very loud barker. Loud barker. Oh God. So I put in $200 for dog boarding and then a bag of dog food. I don't think he has any veterinary stuff due for a while. I think he's all caught up. Utilities, I just kept at our monthly average, so $360. Okay, so travel, I did $170 per night times 7 nights. So assuming a 5-night anniversary trip and a 2-night Halloween escape town trip. Property taxes, $1342 due in November. This is one where I always just include the monthly amount and then have it be like a sinking fund. So I just put in the regular 224. Shopping is probably going to be about the same. I don't know that we need anything really. Mr. Finance Rocks would very much like a new cell phone. His is quite old. We'll probably buy it around like Cyber Monday if we go ahead with that. So I just had that in the notes, but may not necessarily do anything there. Fees and charges. This $190 is our fee for our taxes, and we only pay that once a year. So since it's already been paid and it's a small monthly amount, I just put $0. And then entertainment, probably just $70. I always make it more than $50 because my husband likes to buy video games. And so usually that's like, and yeah, our entertainment spending has been super low. But I like to keep that in there just so that we have some flexibility. It does also include Netflix. We're back on Netflix now. So any streaming services. I think internet is in utilities. So not in there, but, and then education. Mostly I just have this separated on here as a reminder to me to do things for education. So if I have any books or there've been a few webinars that I've attended, that's the main reason I have it split out. So spending of about $4,000. And like I said, so that'll put us at what? So that'll 19,000 plus 4,000, so that'll put our year-to-date spending at 23,000. So we're still going to be about $10,000 budget surplus for the year. So yeah, that's all I have for budget. Do you guys have any questions? Typically, if you were doing a budget, I usually recommend doing zero-based budgeting. So that just means that you have your income at the top, your spending in the middle, and then at the bottom you try to get down to zero. So income minus expenses 0. It just means that you're giving every dollar of income a purpose, giving it a job, planning what you're going to do for each dollar of income. So like, let's say your income was going to be exactly $4,025. Then you'd see that the total amount for your budget is going to be 0. A lot of people refer to it as zero-based budgeting, which always surprised me because when I was in school in accounting and finance, we learned that zero-based budgeting meant starting with all zeros for your budget because, the alternative to that would be starting with the last month's budget. So like this would be the opposite of zero-based. Oh, and of course, my mouse is dying. I should probably have it. I'm going to see if I can find a new computer mouse sitting around the house somewhere, but yeah, this mouse is dying. So alternatively, when you go to budget, you could just start with the previous budget and then adjust it up or down. And so zero-based budgeting means starting with all zeros. Like that. So I don't know. That just always surprised me, the difference there in zero-based budgeting. Okay, so that's all I had. If you don't have any questions on budgets, then let's go ahead and do our silent work session. So this is your opportunity to work on whatever project you need to work on or work on your October budget. Let me go ahead and stop my screen, share my other screen because I have my timer pulled up. It'll just be 5 minutes. Feel free to, ask questions in the comment field if you have them. And then when we regroup after the work session, I will answer them best as I can. And with that, let's go ahead and get into it. And 3, 2, 1, go. Go. Okay, that's the end of the silent work session. How did it go? Did you have any questions on getting your budget done? Let me go ahead and share my other screen here. Oh my gosh, this mouse is driving me insane. Not in a good way. So I thought of one tip to share during the session, which is I find it really helpful to have two note columns. One note column that's just like a general notes section. I use this to identify what goes into that category. It's weird. Sometimes I'll forget like how I've categorized things in the past. So like shopping, for example, I have in the notes column that it's for clothes and sporting goods. So that just helps me remember like, oh, okay, if I have sporting goods, where should I go? If I am gonna run a race, like where does the race fee go? It's weird because that one can be like kind of health, kind of personal care. It could kind of be entertainment because it's for fun. I don't know. So that just is a reminder for myself there. Personal care, gas, car insurance would go in transportation. And then I like to have a separate notes column for each month. And sometimes I will, if I think of something while we're budgeting for like several months out, I will like create the November column, the December column, and then go in and put the notes. In this case, I put December new phone for Mr. Finance Rocks. It just helps me remember things and it leads to more accurate budgeting if you can remember ahead of time, what was going to be in that month so it doesn't get missed. Because we have forgotten things like 4th of July. Like if we were going to do something for the 4th of July, and then, July budgeting comes and you just forget about, like, I don't know, I forget about things. So having those notes columns is really helpful. And then I usually just hide them when I'm done with that month, just so that way I can always pull it back open and be like, okay, why was this month so far off? Like sometimes I'll look back and be like, oh, okay, that's what it was. That was the month that we bought the car or whatever. Let's see, let me check comments. I don't see any comments. So Verna had asked at a previous Money With Me session that I share any tips from reading. So the book I'm reading right now, I just read a chapter about vocation, and they were talking about how most wealthy people, so like millionaire and above, actually picked careers or went into fields for entrepreneurship that are particularly not very sexy fields. So the example that they gave was a guy that ran a junkyard and would resell truck parts. And it's mostly talking about identifying opportunity in the market. So seeing where there are opportunities to make money and then going with those opportunities, even if they aren't like the best thing. And I know a lot of people that I think would be really good entrepreneurs, like family members and stuff that I don't know, when I talk to them, it seems like they don't think that they could start a business because they don't have this like one unique brand new idea. And so I don't know. I don't think that that's really the mindset that a lot of wealthier people have when it comes to identifying what to do. Like I've heard people say that it's more about execution than the idea itself. So yeah, it's not, if there's already an app for an app idea that you have, that doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't do it. It just means that, you have to find a tweak on it or execute better than they do, whether that's like better customer service or something in the supply chain that works out better for you than it does for your competitors. So I just thought that that was an interesting idea, something that I could share. And then I wanted to ask if you guys have any requests for upcoming content. So I have been sharing on here kind of the next things that I'll be pushing out. And so I was just wondering if there was anything in particular you'd like to hear from me. we did October budgets. I haven't decided yet what to do for next Tuesday work session. We could always do like a mid-month update. We could do another October. That way, if people still have their October budget to get through, they could do that or update if they need to. Sometimes things come up in that first week of budget, and that's the time when it's most important to update your budget instead of throwing it away. So we could do that. We could talk about emergency funds more. We could talk about investing more. And then, after that, probably the week after that, we probably will do a straight up budget update, comparing actual to budget. So that's kind of my game plan. If you haven't been on a Sunday stream yet, I've done 2 Sunday live streams now where I do weekly planning. So you guys are welcome to join me, plan out your tasks that you want to focus on for that week, share whatever habits that you're working on and trying to build. And it's Sunday at the same time, which is 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and I think that means 6 p.m. Eastern. I cannot do time math, so I apologize if that's wrong. But there'll be a notification on YouTube. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I will be on the live stream for another couple of minutes after it's shut down, so feel free to type questions in the comments. And thank you so much for watching along. I hope your budgets rock for October, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.